I'm here today with Jana Počtová, director and screenwriter of the documentary K2 My Way. Welcome, Jana.
Welcome. Thank you.
I would like to just start with a short introduction, but I hope that all our viewers watched the documentary before, but in case not, I would like to introduce Klára Kolouchová, who is the main protagonist in the documentary, and she is Czech mountain climber who was the first Czech woman who made it on the top of Mount Everest, and also the first Czech woman who made it on the top of K2. And the documentary is about her journey to made it to K2. And Jana, the director, she was following her for a few previous years before the journey to K2 itself, and she also made it with Klara to the base camp in the mountains. So let me start with a few questions. Jana, whose idea it was to make a movie about Klara's journey to K2?
Okay, a few years ago, one of my friend, he is actually the owner of Bonton Film Studios. He called me that he has great idea to do this documentary film, and if I'm involved to do it. So I said, okay, I'm not a typical sportive woman, but let's try it. Let's meet with Klara. So we met, and it was immediately we fully understand each other, and there was nice atmosphere, so we just decided to do it together.
Great. So because I thought that you were friends before you decided to make a movie, so that's a new information that you met only because you were supposed to make the movie.
Yeah, it was like this. But sometimes, the woman energy, it just fits together, sometimes not, and this was the case that it was immediately some kind of friendship, not the super strong one, but after these 2 years of same journey, we just became friends.
Great. So you were following Klara for 2 years before the journey, or 1.5 year and then the journey itself?
Yes. Well, actually, she had a few attempts for K2. This one was the third one, the last one, which was successful. So I wasn't there when she tried for the first time. It's many, many years ago, but I was there. I met there before her second attempt, and which was unsuccessful. But it was really short time before, and I had no chance to get money to be with her there. So I did some filming before. Then she left, bring material back, which was really disappointing because she definitely at that time she wasn't a good camera woman, and because she's a climber, right? And then we continue another year. She decides to do it again, and so it was obvious that I would try. Now we had a time to find the money, but it wasn't so easy. So I found the money to share her way 14 days before we had to leave.
Wow. It was pretty close. But so you were following her for almost 2 years, so I suppose that you have so many hours of the footage of her preparing herself for the journey itself, and then from the mountains. So how you made it that there is a movie which is 1.5 hour long?
Well, it's the same case with all other movies. Sometimes you have even more. My project, what I'm working on now, I already have 100 hour, and I'm just in half. So
Wow.
this was quite okay. Well, you do a transcript, you just choose what you want to, you just choose all the speaking words. You do a transcript, then you go through all on the paper, then you choose the stuff from the paper, you edit it, and then you're starting to, finding the main plot, how to edit it. It's always the same, and it's always tricky, and it's many hours. I think that we spent like 3 months in editing room. In total, it was around like 40 days. But sometimes you need, some time off because you are stuck somewhere, you don't know how to continue. But it's the same in every movie.
Yeah, great. As we already mentioned, you made it with Klara to the base camp, close to the K2. And you also mentioned that you are not a really sportive, or maybe you weren't a really sportive woman. So how was it to make it there? I suppose it's really hard already to make it to the base camp, and I'm not talking at all about the way up. But
well, yeah, it was funny because when I agreed to do this film, it was also a question if I can make it. And I said, okay, why not? It's a job, and I don't like to deny such a nice work. And okay, I will, I will prepare myself. So I will running for half year before, but we didn't have the money, so I wasn't still sure. And so I had really like 14 days to get shape myself. Which was really funny because I worked during the day, and at 10 p.m. I just took my new shoes, which was like these hard trekking shoes, which I bought, probably one of my most expensive shoes, Gore-Tex, and I don't know what else. And I just took the shoes and I was walking up and down in Petrin Hill. So this was all my preparation. And then when I, first day when I was on this super long trek, which is normally take like 5-6 days, sometimes 7, because you need to acclimatize yourself. So it was around like 130 kilometers through the biggest glacier in the world. Not Goron, sorry, it's Africa. I just come back from Africa from shooting. It was, I don't know now. It's already 2 years. Never mind. Baltoro. It was a Baltoro glacier. So it was quite hard. I was the last from the last. They always waited on me, but I did it. It was hard, but I did it. And at the end, it was hard, but it wasn't like impossible to do it. There were plenty of much older person who always ran in front of me, and I felt like, oh my goodness, he's 60 and he's much faster than I am. But yeah, I wasn't there, to do some Guinness records. I was there to do a film. So at the end, it was fine. And actually, we were with Klara in front of the first, not the base camp, but high camp. In 6,000, and we couldn't go higher because there were like no place for sleeping in the first camp. And also, we can't be like so fast as she is and the other climbers, so we didn't want to stuck her. But my DOP, like cameraman, he was there, and because he's like young, sportive climber. He's everything what I'm not. So
And he was preparing himself somehow before, or he got the information he's going there those 14 days before, as you did?
Yeah, actually, it was like this.
So that, wow.
We got a visa and all the permission because you need to pay a quite big amount to just get there. So it was all prepared, but we were waiting if we will have a money. So he was like on standby regime, but he's definitely doing this in his normal life. So
Better for him.
yeah.
And how long did you spend there in this base or high camp? I'm not really sure what the difference is.
In total, we were there around like 5-6 weeks, I think. But there was like, 1 week there, 1 week back. So just under the K2, because the base camp is really like under, you can see the mountains quite easily. So we spent the months. Yeah, it was fine sleeping in -10 every night. Because where there is no sun, it's like the temperature going low, but it's I'm comparing with the others on top on the mountains where it's like -40.
Yes, that's true. And in the movie, we can see that it was Clara's third attempt, but in this third attempt, there were like 2 attempts. Am I right that one they tried it to make it on the top, but they had to go back because there was like bad weather or something, and then you waited there and they tried it again. Am I right?
So they stopped in the first attempt. They stopped like 300 or 400 meters under the summit, which is quite disappointing and frustrating, actually. But these last few meters, let's say a few hundred meters, it's probably the most dangerous part on K2 because there is a part called bottleneck, and like a lot of people die there. If somebody died on K2, it was probably there. Not only there, but there was the most dead people there. So they came back, and there was like a big issue if to go back again and risk life because all these ropes, they are already there like 1 week more, and the snow going down, which also put the rope quite and fixed way. It's dangerous. So there was a big issue in you can see in the film, but she decided to go. And it was lucky because in that time there was these names that the guy who he was in special forces in Britain, and he did these the unbelievable success that he climbed all 14s, the highest mountain in the world just during the 7 months before the shortest time was 8 years. So he actually had to go there. So it was a new energy. He just came back from other previous peak, Nanga Parbat, which is also not easy mountain. So he was really strong, already acclimatized. So he just, pushed the way up. He put the rope there so everybody could summit it.
Great. So you believed that they will make it when you were there?
Well, for me it was I was in a bit like strange situation because for me the film is important. It's my life and it's my job, and it's not only job for me, of course, but that was the first what I know since I was in school, that the people are more important than film. So I was in some kind of like strange situation because for the movie it was better if she will summit it the K2, but as a friend, as a person, I didn't want to force her because I don't know what's there, what's up there, how dangerous it is. So I didn't want to force it, like, hey, come on, you will do it, go. So I just, said my opinion that he can make it. It's also possible to see in the movie, and that was all. But in somehow inside me, I was 100% sure that she'd not give it up, because it was like pointless try it like third time. And as I knew her, I was like almost sure that she will change her mind and she will go up. She'll try to summit.
Yeah, and she made it. So is the movie more about mountain climbing, or more about Klara as a woman who's fulfilling her dreams, sometimes against the will of her family, probably? And is it more about the climbing, or about the fact that she's a woman and she just go for her dreams, and she's a mom and she has a family, and what I mean?
Yeah, of course I know. So you already like answered what about it? Was the film, was the story Morning Glory? Yeah, since the beginning, I was 100% sure that I don't want to do these kind of like adrenaline, Red Bull sport movie with the great drone picture, and it's not my topic. I don't care about this adrenaline stuff. For me, the private life is more important. So yeah, since the beginning I decided to do it differently, which is also quite disappointing for some kind of audience, because they are expecting that there will be like these super shots from summit, and everybody's saying it's just about a crying woman with the babies, why she's going there if she's not okay with it. But yeah, it's like, order chicken and expect steak. So I did a chicken, but it's still juicy meat.
Yes, and you mentioned like it's about Clara's personal life, and we can see her family in the movie, like her husband, children, and also mother and father. So all of them were willing to be in the movie, or you have to persuade them?
Yeah, Klara is really like so connect with the family, so it wasn't a problem at all. Yeah, it's like everybody were involved, and she has really good relationship, and that's also why it's a part of the story, because it's not so common that the family like is so strong, and just they are like living together even if their parents are divorced and they have like other families. So yeah, it was also, that's why I did this story also about this.
Yeah. So, and probably my last question, you already mentioned that you came back from Africa now. So could you tell us what the next movie will be about, or not?
Oh, that's I'm just doing these kind of like travel documentary series na cestě, which is like not like super directing, but I love to travel. It's part of my life. Like sometimes I'm almost like half of the years out. So the year when I was doing K2, I was doing this series in Peru, Bangladesh, India. It was my year, and then K2, and another year America. So this is like this will be na cestě about Tanzania. But I'm already working on another film more than like 1.5 years, almost 2 years, and that's the like second part of my job. not about traveling, but it's about like changing relationships and parenthood and like society in 21st century. And it will be about relationship, different kind of relationship, not these like classic monogamy. And it will be about polyamory, open relationship. There will be also like strictly monogamy couple, and there is the woman with she's a lover, like he has a like married man, he's dating married man. So there is also one of the topic is about like these strange dating apps, you know, because it's also a trap for a lot of people, just, you know, be there, and this is adrenaline. So there is also one part which is like somehow edit on dating apps. Yeah, that's my project, which I'm already like working on 2 years and already filming. So another 2 years, and maybe we will do another interview together.
Probably we have something to look forward to watch. Thank you, Jana. Thank you for the interview. And I would like to also thank our audience for watching us.